and welcome to another exciting video. In this one, we'll be learning how we can install and configure the Appwrite Web SDK. So the first thing that we need to do is visit this appwrite.io website, then click on Get Started. Once you do that, you'll be taken to the sign up page. Like if I show you over here, as I'm already logged in, I'll be taken directly to the dashboard page. But if I go ahead and log out from here, you'll be presented with this screen where you can go in and you can either sign up with GitHub or you can just sign up the regular way. Here I'll be going ahead with GitHub. So I've clicked on this, and as you can see, I'll be taken directly to the dashboard page. Now over here, the first thing that we need to do is create a project. So you can do that by either clicking on this button or the top button over here. So let's do that. And here I'll be giving the name of this project as events. That's the project ID. Click on next now. And here, as you can see, I'm using a free account basically. So the default server location is this Frankfurt. That's the region where I can go ahead and create it. So let's do that. Click on create now. Once you've done that, the project will be shown over here, and now you are under the project dashboard. So here we have the name of the project, then this is the ID of the project, and here you can see that it says add a platform. Now the platform that we are targeting is the web platform. So let's click on web over here, and the name of the app will also be the same as the name of the project. So here I'm saying events. You can leave this blank or you can just fill it as localhost. And you can also go ahead with these virtual apps, like anything of this sort. So I can go ahead and say events, or let's have SkillBakery events .virtual.app. So here the whole thing will be presented. But for now, I'll be just typing over here localhost, and then I'll be clicking on next. Once I do that, you'll be seeing this screen where it says get the SDK. Now, to get the SDK, the first thing that we need to do is copy this command, npm install appwrite, go to our Visual Studio Code, and here launch the terminal, and you just have to be inside the projects directory. So here I'll be going inside the cd events. Now I'm inside this. I will be running this command, npm install appwrite, and I'll be waiting for its completion. Once it's done, as you can see, it has done installing. The next thing that we need to do is have this line copied. So what we'll do is we'll go back here in the src directory. I'll be opening up the lib directory or lib directory, and here I'll be creating a new file. Now the new file that we are creating over here, we'll be calling it as appwrite. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll say appwrite.ts, and inside this file, the first thing that we need to do is write this command that we have just copied, import client from appwrite. Now let's save this and go back over here. Click on next over here. Now you'll see that we are getting these two things, the client instance and then the endpoint and project ID. So let's copy this, go back to our appwrite.cs file. Over here I can just copy and paste it, but that's not how I'm going to use it. So the first thing that I'll be doing is making sure that I can export this client instance in my project. So I'll be making use of the export statement, and then I'll be creating an import file where I can provide these environment variables, and then I'll be importing them from that particular file. And to do that, I'll be going inside the root directory, and here I'll be creating an environment variable. So I'll be calling that file as environment local. This is going to hold the environment variable, and here we'll be having two variables. Let's have it in this way: void appwrite and then the endpoint. So this is going to hold the endpoint value, and the next one will be wheat, and then again appwrite project ID. So let's have that as well. Now these will have the values from here. So the endpoint will be this value. Let's have it over here, and then the project ID will have this value. So we'll have this value over here. Once we have these values in the config file, the next thing that we need to do is Save this and go back to our appwrite.ts file. And over here, we will be calling these using the import.meta.environment. So here in the endpoint, we'll just write this import.meta.env read appwrite endpoint. And for project, we will just go ahead and put it over here as the project ID. So that's how we need to configure our Web SDK from Appwrite in our project.